What's up everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about a $56,000 wholesale deal I did in Arizona. That being said, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you go down below, hit the red button and subscribe. A good percentage of my viewers are not subscribing. I'll pop the analytics up right now. And if you go subscribe, it really helps me reach more people and impact more lives. So I'd really appreciate it if you do so. But other than that, let's get right into the video. Alright, so that's right. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a $56,000 wholesale deal I recently did in Phoenix, Arizona. Now to start off, let's talk about how I found this deal initially. What marketing did I do to acquire this deal? I did cold calling marketing in order to acquire this deal. I called a high equity list in Arizona in Maricopa County in order to find this deal. Now you're probably asking, what's a high equity list? A high equity list means that the homeowner has owned the property for a long time, they've paid down the mortgage, and the property value has raised, therefore they have equity in the property. They owe less than what it's worth, creating equity, and that leaves room for a profit. So that's why it's easier to do deals with homeowners that have equity, a good amount of equity, because they will be able to profit off the sale and go buy a new property, or they will be able to profit and pocket the money. You know, if they're underwater in their house, they're actually going to owe money to be able to sell their house, so that wouldn't be a good seller to work with unless you're able to get released whatever they owe. But that's usually a challenge and not always possible. Another thing is, what if they don't have any equity? You know, they kind of owe what the house is worth. Like they recently bought the house and they haven't had time to pay it down, and they also haven't owned it long enough for the value to go up. And that's not really a good person to work with either necessarily, because they owe what it's worth. They're not going to make any money selling the house. That being said though, there is certain situations where they just need to get rid of the property and for no profit. And we've done tons of deals like that as well. But the majority of deals come with people that have equity in their home. So where did we get this high equity list from in order to cold call it? We got it from Cole Realty Resource. We pulled 10 years plus residence list, meaning they've owned their property for at least 10 years, making it likely that they have a good amount of equity in their property. If you want to use this same data source for your data to call, go down below in the description. There's a link for it where you can get a discount. So then I used my cold callers from thecallgenius.com to call the list, and they found this seller that wanted to sell the property. So they collected some simple information from the seller and they passed that lead to me and my team in the office. And that's when we made the follow-up call and started talking to the seller about really why he wanted to sell, the exact condition of his property, and how much money he wanted for his property. So my sales team called him and they found out a little bit of information about the condition of the property. Like what flooring does the property have throughout? What countertops in the kitchen? What color cabinets? How old is the roof? How old is the AC? These are some of the important questions you want to ask your seller in order to know how much work the property is going to need. So my sales rep asked them all those questions and found out the exact condition of the property. So now that we knew the exact condition of the property, we knew how much work we were going to have to put into it, how much money it would cost in order to remodel the property and make it worth top of the market, ARV. What are we going to have to put into this property to make it be at its after repair value? It's ARV. So we figured that out, and next we started talking about why did he want to sell, right? You have to have motivation to sell. You need to be working with people that are motivated to sell. Otherwise, you're not going to get many deals, right? You got to have motivation in life to do whatever it is. So you want to be working with motivated sellers, and so we wanted to find out what his motivation was to sell the house. So here was the situation, okay? His daughter had been living in the property for many years, okay? She wasn't paying any rent. She was just living in the property, it was his daughter, right? But she was finally ready to move out, get her own place, and so he wanted to sell the property for that reason as well, because she was ready to move out. But the second reason he wanted to sell the property, which is pretty unique, is he wanted to buy a trucking business. So he wanted to take the $400,000 and some from this property that he was wanting for it and invest that into a trucking business. Which was really interesting, right? He wanted to take the money from this property and invest it in the trucking business, and that's awesome. That's amazing. So we started talking to him next about numbers, and he wanted $430,000 for the property. Now, like I said in past videos, everybody has a price that they want, but there's always a price that they will take, right? There's a big difference between the price that somebody wants and the price that they will take, right? And in every negotiation, both parties aren't supposed to walk away happy. They're supposed to walk away content. That's how a good negotiation takes place, when both parties walk away content. So there's a price that he'd be content with taking, and there's a price that he wants. And so we knew we had some room to negotiate. This property was worth about $460,000. So him asking $430,000 was pretty high. But we also knew that we would be able to sell this property for a lot of money because it was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, under 2,000 square feet, no pool, not on a main road. And what does that mean? That means it's a perfect property for a buy and hold investor. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, under 2,000 square feet, not on a main road, no pool, and it is newer than 1980. It was built newer than 1980. That means it's a perfect property for a buy and hold investor. So we knew we would be able to sell this property close to retail, right? Close to 90–100% of value. But that being said, we always got to try to negotiate. So we took his $430,000 and we talked him down to $375,000. Now this took multiple days to negotiate and bring him down to $375,000 till he would say that he would consider it, right? It took multiple days for him to say, fine, I'll consider $375,000, send over the paperwork. So we wrote up the contract, sent him over the contract for $375,000. Now here was another waiting game. The next thing that happened was his daughter got involved. And as you know, you want to pull out all the decision makers. Who's going to be, one of those decision makers that's either going to prevent this deal from going forward or make this deal go forward? And his daughter was one of them, okay? His daughter was looking out for him, and this took a lot of time. They needed multiple days to look over the agreement. I'm talking like it took a whole week for him and his daughter to review this agreement and finally get back to us and say they would accept it. We were following up with him every 2 days to just check in. Hey, have you got a chance to look it over? Do you have any questions? Whatnot. We want to stay in touch, make sure they aren't shopping our offer around to other companies trying to get more money, make sure they aren't dodging us, and make sure we are still staying in constant communication so that way we are more likely to secure the deal. And that's what we did. We kept following up, and after about a week, they finally signed the agreement for $375,000, and we had the deal locked up. So now that we had the deal locked up, we had to get ready to market the deal. Now, what do you need to do in order to market the deal? You need to make sure you have all the information about the property, which we can pretty much find online using PropStream, right? If you want a discount on PropStream and a 7-day free trial, go down below. There's a link in the description. PropStream lets you search up all the information about the property and pull all the comparables. So I used PropStream to find out the value of the property so that way I could plug that value into my calculator, and then my calculator would spit me out my maximum allowed offer of $375,000. So that being said, if you're struggling to make offers on properties, you should check out my offer calculator available at jacobblank.com/shop. There's a link in the description for this as well. All you got to do is plug in some simple information and it spits out the offer for you. So I also used PropStream and the offer calculator to figure out what I was going to sell the deal for. I used PropStream to find all that info about the property, and then also my calculator told me what I should sell the deal for, what I should market the deal for. So I knew what price to market the deal for. So because it was a perfect property for a buy and hold investor, I knew I could sell this property close to full value, right? And I said it was worth around $460,000. So I thought, let's market it at $440,000 to buyers. So now that I knew what price I was going to market the deal for and try to sell it for, now I just needed one more thing to market the deal. And that was pictures of the property. And I wanted to save time by not going out to the property, so I had the daughter send me pictures of the property. I just told her, send me pictures of every room, the backyard, the front of the house, the hot water heater, the garage, the AC unit, the electrical panel, and she sent all those pictures over to us. So now that I had everything to market the deal, I started sending it out. I email blasted it out to my cash buyers list, and I texted it out to my VIP buyers. And after a little bit of time, I started getting offers back. I got offers close to $400, around $390, and then I got one offer at $435,000. And I thought, $435,000, that's only a little bit less than what I'm asking for it, right? I'm asking $440. So what I did was, I said, hey, I'll sell you the deal. But this buyer wanted to walk through the property before saying that they would fully commit to the deal. And you know, it was a pretty good buyer that I've worked with in the past. Not one that I've worked with recently, but I felt, you know, comfortable working with them. So I was like, you know what? Go out and walk the property. And after walking the property, they told me they were gonna have to be at $427,000 max offer. And I was like, you know, that doesn't cut it. I want $440 for the property. You were already at $435. So how about this? Can you meet me at $432,000, right? I was going to give them $3,000 off their initial offer and hope that they took the deal. After negotiating, they were willing to come up to $431,000, and I said, you know, that's a good offer, only $9,000 less than what I was marketing the deal for, and I sent over an assignment contract and I assigned the deal to them. Next, we went through the transaction process and it went really smooth, and then the deal closed and I made $56,000 on this deal. As you can see, I basically sold this deal at retail. So if you want help selling your deals for maximum profit, please submit your deals to me and my team at jacobblank.com/dispo. There's a link in the description for this as well. And me and my team will personally help you sell your deals for maximum profit. But again, that was an awesome deal here in Phoenix, Arizona. I just took you down the road of this deal, start to finish, breakdown of this deal. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some insight on how these wholesale deals take place, how they happen, what you have to do along the process of a wholesale deal, so that way you can become a better wholesaler and have an amazing real estate journey. So that being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to go down below, hit the like button, and also make sure to hit the red button and subscribe to the channel. It helps me reach more people and impact more lives. But other than that, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.